Here's a lie that you've probably believed, that starting a business takes tens of thousands of dollars, a degree, or some rare skill. But it doesn't. And today I'm gonna be sharing 8 different businesses with you that you could start this weekend for less than $1,000. Some of them even have the potential to make 7 figures a year. And they're all things that most people walk right past. So my name's Austin Zabak, and I've built multiple different businesses over the years, primarily in real estate, pest control, and a handful of others over the last decade. And if you get any value out of today's video, do me a huge favor, just smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps me out a ton, and it'll get this video in front of more people who need to see it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. So what if I told you that you could take a $1,000 investment and build a business that does over $100,000 in a single month? That is exactly what happened with a guy that I know personally. Before starting his business, he was a financial advisor. He heard how consistent the demand was in the pressure washing industry. He decided to jump in, and on day one, he bought a trailer, a water tank, a hose, and a surface cleaner. He had no experience at all and no background in this industry. And fast forward 4 years later, he had his best month and crossed over $100,000. Now let's just talk about why this business works. So the US pressure washing industry generated over $1.2 billion in revenue across more than 32,000 businesses, and it is still growing. Residential and commercial demand is consistent year round. And it isn't really seasonal the way that a lot of people think. It's ultimately a service and a business with near infinite repeat customers because things are always getting dirty again. And an average residential job can run anywhere between about $400 to $1,000 just to wash a home's exterior. And the startup here can be really minimal. You can launch this business for around $1,000, and that'll cover your equipment and you picking up a little bit of used gear just to keep the cost on the low end. And you can be running jobs within a week. Now here's the angle that most pressure washers are leaving money on the table with, and that is trash can cleaning. So think about this for a second. You're already at the house. You already have the equipment. You already have the water, the cleaning solution. And the customer's trash cans are probably sitting right there and they smell like a dumpster. Now all you gotta do is go offer to clean them for an extra $20 or $30 a can, and most of the homeowners will say yes because you're already there. So now we're talking about $40 to $60 in upsells on a job that you were already doing. Now again, if you were to multiply that across all of your residential customers on your route, you've just added thousands of dollars a month in revenue without driving anywhere else. The best operators in this space aren't just pressure washers. They're getting creative and thinking of other services that they can add with the equipment that they already have. And ultimately, that's what you should do in any business, and that is how you increase your average ticket. You lock in some recurring revenue, and then you make yourself hard to replace by adding additional services that make sense. Okay, so the next one on the list is not sexy, and I've talked about it a couple of times, and that is dog poop cleaning. Now just stay with me for 60 seconds on this one before you continue to fast forward, because this industry is bigger than most people realize, and it is growing extremely fast. So the reality of it is, in 2024, about 66% of US households reported owning at least one pet. So we're talking about 87 million homes, and out of those, about 65 million own a dog. Making dogs, of course, the most popular pet in the country. I apologize to all you cat lovers. And those dogs produce about 10 million tons of waste every single year. And that equates to about 20 billion pounds of dog poop. Now, a single dog drops about 3/4 of a pound a day, and most of it goes uncollected. And the people who own those dogs, well, they absolutely love their animals, but they don't want to deal with it. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is your business idea. Now, let me make this very real for you with an actual example, because I have a little bit of firsthand experience. So I had a poop scooper who used to come clean up my dog's poop. And she had built a route with about 300 customers, and she was coming to my house 1 time a week. And I got to talking to her, and she explained to me that each yard takes about 10 minutes. And she had 10 scoopers working for her, each handling a route of about 30 houses. At an average of about $69 a month per customer, she was doing over $20,000 a month in revenue, aka about $250,000 or $250,000 a year, picking up dog poop. Okay, so what all do you actually need to get started? Well, it's really simple. You're gonna need a rake, a scoop, a couple of bins to store all of the waste, some disinfectant, some bags, some gloves, and a reliable car to get around. So all in here, you're probably looking at about $500 to get started. Now, there's almost no business on earth with that kind of potential return with that kind of upfront investment. So the real power here is the recurring revenue model. And if you followed my channel for any length of time, then you'll know that I love businesses that have recurring revenue. Customers that are paying you every single month, where you go to the same yard, you go on the same route, and it just runs like clockwork. And this is one of those businesses where you can kind of take it either direction. You can run a lean solo operation and you can build route density, meaning a lot of customers in a small area, or you can have multiple different kind of pockets throughout wherever you live, and you can add scoopers if you really want to go ahead and scale. So is it glamorous? Of course not. But is it recurring and scalable? Absolutely. Okay, before I get into the next one, I want to say something that I wholeheartedly believe. You will never be rich until you stop underestimating how lazy people actually are. Because the businesses that make the most consistent money are almost always built around tasks that people simply either don't want to do or can't do. Now, taking out the trash is absolutely one of them. So I actually did a full business tour right here on my YouTube channel, which you would know if you were subscribed, and that was with a CEO of a company called Can Monkey. And all they do is they take your trash cans from your garage or your backyard to the curb on collection day, and then they bring them back. So think of it like DoorDash for trash. Now, the idea started with a very simple observation. All of the neighbors on his street had left their trash bins on the curb, even though pickup day had already happened multiple days prior. So this simple business now has over 6,000 active subscriptions across 25 different states and more than 500 cities. And at their base level, they're charging about $45 a month per property. And that covers trash and recycling, going out and coming back on a weekly basis. Now let's just do the math, okay? Because at 6,000 active subscriptions, we're talking about over $250,000 per month in recurring revenue by rolling out trash cans. Now, the best part here is the churn rate on their homeowner subscribers is actually less than 1%. And again, it goes back to what I was saying a little while ago. Once people have this type of service done for them, they can never go back to doing it themselves. Now, think about this from a startup perspective. You don't need a truck, you don't need any sort of special equipment. You literally need customers, a route, and a car to get there. Now, I personally love how practical this business model actually is. It helps so many people that you wouldn't think actually even need it. You're talking about elderly residents, people who literally can't manage to take a 50 or 100 pound trash bin out to the curb, especially maybe in the snow or in the heat. People with second homes who aren't even there, but they want to make it look like somebody's staying or living in the house. And then a big one is going to be your Airbnb and short-term rental properties where somebody has to take the cans out between guests. Now, every single one of those people has a problem, and you are the solution. Now, you could start your own version of this in your city right now, and even if there's a couple of people doing it, I'm telling you, the market is still wide open. All you need is 20 to 25 properties within a tight radius to build your first route, and the willingness to show up every single week, and the barrier to entry on this one is basically zero. All right, getting into the next one, most people see solar panels and they think clean energy. Now, what they don't think about is who's actually cleaning those panels. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the opportunity. So dirt, dust, and pollen, and even bird droppings build up on solar panels over time, and they actually block that sunlight from reaching the cells. And that means that the system that the homeowner potentially paid tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to install is running at a fraction of its potential. So regular cleaning, typically 1 to 2 times a year, can boost power production by 10 to 20% at a minimum in dirty conditions. And these aren't small numbers. For somebody who invested that much money, they're clearly looking to save a lot of money on their energy bill. So that 10 to 20% can add up very quickly. And once you frame it that way for a homeowner, it honestly doesn't even sound like they're spending any money at all, because the money that you're charging them is actually money that they're saving. Now let's just talk about the size of the market here, okay? So the solar panel cleaning industry was valued at about $1.2 billion in 2025, and it's projected to reach about $2.5 billion by 2035. So my question for you is, of that billion in growth, how much do you want to partake in? And it makes sense when you look at how fast solar adoption is growing across the country. I mean, you have literal door knockers all over the country selling solar to people, especially in places like Arizona, Texas, California, and Florida. The startup cost here is one of the lowest on the entire list. All you're really gonna need are things like a soft wash system or a low pressure hose setup, a squeegee, a water-fed pole, and some basic cleaning solutions. So the business model itself lends perfectly to recurring revenue. You sell customers on a twice-a-year cleaning package, and you bill them automatically. As your client list grows, you start stacking routes the same way a pool cleaner or a lawn care operator would. Okay, the next one we're gonna talk about today is gonna be window cleaning, and it's one of those businesses that looks too simple to be taken seriously. And that's one of the reasons that if you're thinking about doing it, you probably should, because the competition's not too crazy and there's a lot of revenue being left on the table. So every home, every business, every storefront, every office building has windows, and none of those owners want to clean it. It's one of those things that sits on the to-do list forever until somebody like you shows up to actually do the work. So let's break down the numbers in the real world. The average window cleaning job on the residential side runs about $500. So if you were to do 6 jobs a day, you're looking at about $3,000 in gross revenue in a single day. So one operator here in Arizona did $392,000 last year with a small team of subcontractors. And he started with $500 worth of equipment. The pricing model here is really simple. Residential jobs are priced by square footage and how many stories the home has. And once you've done enough homes, you can quote almost anything over the phone in under 2 minutes. You really aren't having to go out to the site until you actually make the sale. Now, here's where the business can really compound, okay? You can sell quarterly exterior cleaning packages to homeowners, lock in monthly contracts with a bunch of commercial accounts, even things like restaurants, retail stores, and office buildings. And one thing that I love about commercial accounts in this type of industry is that commercial clients aren't really price shopping the way that a residential customer will. They mainly want reliability, and they're pretty much gonna pay for it every single month or whenever you go to charge their card. And at about a $500 startup cost here with no experience required, window cleaning is one of the most straightforward paths to building a real service business from scratch that can make, honestly, a lot of freaking money. All right, so jumping into the next one, you know, people always accumulate stuff. I don't know if you've noticed that. They move, they renovate, they downsize, they clean out their garages that they haven't touched in a decade, and when they're ready to get rid of all that crap, they don't want to deal with it, because again, going back to everybody's lazy. They want somebody else to show up, load it, and make it disappear. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is junk removal. Now, the opportunity here is absolutely massive. The US waste collection services industry is expected to surpass $90 billion in annual revenue by 2030. Junk removal is one of the fastest growing segments inside that industry, valued at over $10 billion. So this is not a niche, okay? This is a massive, recession-resistant market with a lot of room for people like you to carve out in your local market. So for a single junk removal vehicle, you can realistically generate about $500 to $1,500 per day. And jobs here are priced by volume. So you show up, you quote the job on the spot, then you load all that stuff up and you get paid immediately after. There's no invoicing, no receivables, nothing like that. You're gonna get cash in hand as soon as you're driving away from the job. Now, the average cost of a junk removal job is somewhere between $250 and $300 for a standard load. Now, here's what I love about this business from a startup standpoint. If you already have a truck, you're already halfway there. The real way to crush it in junk removal is honestly relationship. People like real estate agents, property managers, contractors, they all have a constant stream of properties that need to be cleared out. And landlords and property managers alone rely heavily on junk removal companies to clear out units between tenants. I don't know if you know, but the average apartment turnover rate in the US is sitting around 40 to 50% annually, which is a very steady, reliable pipeline of work. Now, the best part of this business is how simple the growth model trajectory is. You start with one truck, maybe a trailer, and yourself. And when you get busy enough, you add another truck and you hire your first employee if you want. Then you rinse and repeat, okay? You don't need a complicated strategy. You just need to outwork your competition and market yourself and your business, and it will scale very quickly. And I actually did a business tour with a junk removal company right here on my YouTube channel that you should go check out, and I'll put that link down in the description below. Okay, getting on to number 7. If you live in a warm climate state like Florida, Texas, Texas, California, or Arizona, maybe a handful of others, this might be one of the most reliable businesses that you can build on today's list. But even beyond warm weather markets, pool cleaning is a service that never goes away once somebody has a pool. Because a neglected pool will turn green, grow algae, and become unusable very quickly. The homeowner will either then have to deal with it themselves, or they'll have to hire somebody like you to deal with it for them. And again, most people would rather pay somebody else to do it. So the pool cleaning and maintenance services market was valued at $26 billion in 2025, projected to reach $38 billion by 2030. And North America is the largest market, of course, and the demand continues to climb as more residential pools are built and homeowners are increasingly preferring to outsource that to somebody else. So here's what the business model actually looks like when we really zoom in. You show up once a week. Okay? You skim the surface with a net, you brush the walls, you vacuum the floor, and you make sure that the pool looks clean and clear. And you're probably gonna put some chlorine in the pool to make sure that the pool doesn't turn green. And make sure that all the chemicals are stabilized in the pool, which is very easy to ultimately learn. So that's the entire service, and most residential customers are willing to pay about $100 to $150 a month for a weekly visit. So startup cost here is real simple. You're gonna need a net, a brush, a vacuum head, a pool pole, and that'll probably run you a couple of $100s. And of course, you're gonna need a reliable vehicle like most of the ones on the list that we talked about today. Now, the retention on this business model is incredible, and again, it's a recurring revenue model. Once a homeowner finds a reliable pool cleaner that they trust, they almost never switch. And I don't know if you guys know, but I actually owned a pool cleaning company when I was a kid, and my grandpa just sold his company after 30 years, and he only sold it because he's retiring. And some of his accounts, when he went to sell his company, have been with him for that entire 30 years, which shows the loyalty in this type of industry. Okay, so the last one that we're gonna talk about today, and I saved it for last because it might be the most accessible business on the entire list, especially if you're watching right now and you're trying to get something off the ground with no money. So car detailing, and specifically mobile detailing, is one of those businesses where the barrier to entry is almost so low that it doesn't even really feel real. You don't need any commercial space, you don't need employees, you really don't need hardly anything, and the type of vehicle that you drive also doesn't matter, so you could show up in pretty much whatever car you're driving right now. You drive to the customer, detail their car in their driveway, and you get paid. Now, the market here is absolutely massive. The global car detailing industry is projected to be about $58 billion by 2030, growing at about 6% annually. And of course, North America makes up for over 35% of the global revenue. Now, mobile detailers consistently achieve about a 60 to 80% gross margin, some of the highest in any service business on the entire list. And that is why I put it on here, and it works so well as a startup. You're ultimately selling convenience as much as you're selling a clean car. Because people like me, busy professionals, luxury car owners, or even families with multiple vehicles, they don't want to drive somewhere and sit there in the heat to wait for their car to get cleaned. They want you to show up at their house or their office while they can do something else entirely, and by the time they walk out to get in the car, it's already done. And that convenience commands a premium, and people will pay that without hesitation. Now, in the very beginning, if you were just washing basic vehicles, you weren't doing high-end details or anything at all, you were just going to people's houses to clean their Prius, to just give it a basic wash, you're probably looking at about $50 a wash. Now, once you get into a full detail, or you get into the luxury car market where you're waxing, polishing, doing interior conditioning, you're talking about $200, $300, $400, maybe even $500 or more. And if you position yourself in an affluent market, your average ticket will go up significantly. A full detail on a luxury vehicle can run $300 to $500 all day long. Now, if you get to the point where you do a couple of those a day, you're talking about $1,000 to $1,500 a day in revenue. And the main things that you're gonna need here is a pressure washer, a foam cannon, a vacuum, and some microfiber towels, along with some cleaning solution. Now, obviously, once you get into the higher end vehicles, you're probably gonna need a buffer and things like that, so you can do waxes, etc. But ultimately, in the beginning, you don't need a whole lot of stuff, and you can definitely get started in this industry for a couple of $100s. And again, like I said a little while ago, you can drive whatever vehicle you want in the beginning because you can just use the customer's water. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's 8 different businesses that you could start this year, 2026, okay, this weekend if you want, for less than $1,000 that have the potential, honestly, to make 6 or even 7 figures. absolutely none of them require a degree or any fancy skill set or knowledge. And the only difference between you sitting there watching the video right now and all of the people out there actually doing one of the businesses that I just talked about in their market are the people who just got up out of their chair, smashed that like button, of course, before they did, and then went out and got started. So there you have it, guys. I appreciate you for staying to the very end of the video. I hope that one of these is something that you can take and run with and make a lot of money doing it. It would really mean the world to me. If you would comment down below, let me know what you liked about the video, which one you plan to start, subscribe and like on your way out, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video.